his pal. And how about that, Fezzy Phil? The Warriors won the first quarter. They improved to 15-4 when leading after one.
Well, when you said start with a sense of urgency, you meant in the second half, right, Vontae? That's what the Warriors did. They started with a sense of urgency in the second half.
And in the second quarter, in the first quarter,
the first half is, yeah.
Don't worry about it. Just
don't worry
the third
about
quarter
it.
stats.
Yeah, there you go.
62% from the field, 8 of 12 from 3 for 50%, 83 from the free throw line, and they scored 42 points.
And wouldn't you say Jimmy Butler had an instant impact on the game today?
No question. And the biggest thing are the free throws. The Warriors took 27 as a team, 13 by Jimmy Butler. I saw the Warriors maintain their pace full court and seem to be much more organized and settled in the half court. Now, this is not the greatest defensive team in the league, but I just love the fact you can place the ball in Jimmy Butler's hands as a scorer. You think about it, so many times when the Warriors feed the post, it's exclusively the pass. It's exclusively split action. Very rarely they even face the basket. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Butler's a big-time threat in the post. He's also a playmaker. That's a huge difference to me when you start placing the ball in the post. You have split actions. You got good spacing. You got good shooters around him. The fact that he's a big-time threat in the post, the Warriors haven't had that in a long time.
Jimmy's actually an underrated passer. I saw the bigs. I'm watching the game from the big perspective. You can see a shot from Quinten Post, getting a couple floaters from Jimmy's drives. You can see Kevon Looney getting a shot under the basket. Those things are the things that you look at, and the ability to include the others on the team. Every guy's off the bench, coming into the game, making an impact. Jimmy Butler got to play with the bench, and the defensive swag of that bench mob in the second half was incredible. That's what you're going to see in the next part of the season right now. For the last 30 games, you're going to see Jimmy Butler with Steph Curry. You're going to see Jimmy Butler without Steph, and then you're going to see Steph Curry by himself as well. Steve Kerr is going to try to find combinations, but watching the way Jimmy played and the chemistry with him in the bench, that was incredible tonight.
Did you say this is one of the most prolific debuts of any Warrior?
Yeah, 11 made free throws, most for any Warrior making their debut.
But just look at the efficiency. Yep. 7 of 12 from the field, 11 of 13, 25 points. And to me, and I asked Jimmy postgame, his ability to play almost 30 minutes, his fitness level is amazing. So he's 35. He's a young 35. He's a big-time athlete. And like I said, to me, the biggest thing to me, the fact that you have a low-post scorer. In this day and age, it doesn't have to be your center. Jimmy Butler, when he gets down there, drawing fouls. Yep. How many times have we seen late clock where the Warriors struggle to get a shot off? Or they'll shoot, a runner. We were talking about the missed layups and not attempting free throws. Jimmy Butler is either going to get to his post-up game or draw a foul late in the clock. That's a huge weapon.
Warriors won points on the paint tonight. 46-34. 46-34, the Warriors won the points 12. In the paint tonight. I'm just saying, there's a big difference right now when you're able to attack. You talked about the post-up. Jimmy Butler's ability to attack the post-up is going to be really key. When you have these long stints during the game where you're not making three-point shots, it's so important that you get guys on the block to get easy twos, get some free throws, get something going on the offensive end. That's one of the reasons why the Warriors were able to make that comeback in the second half, because Jimmy Butler was able to get to the free throw line. Guys were getting points in the paint. They were pushing it up. I mean, when's the last time you saw Draymond try to kick a pass all the way up top? And yes, it was a turnover, but that's the pace the Warriors started to play at in the second half. And that's what happens when you're playing from the inside out rather than outside in.
You know who else balled out alongside Jimmy Butler, because we'll have more on Jimmy a little bit later? Your big man, Quinten Post.
Big fella.
He loves seeing Chicago, right?
It.
He lit up the Bulls last time back on January 23rd at Chase Center. And, of course, tonight, 18 points for QP, 7 of 10 from the floor, 4 of 7. And Jimmy was looking for him. Steph was looking for him. It's got nice touch on the baseline there. Come on, big fella. You gotta love this.
What is it about whenever he plays against Vucevic? It's like the guy who everyone was trying to get. Nikola Vucevic is a talented scorer from the three-point line. He can score on the post. But Quinten Post had something to say about that tonight. All right, he was very aggressive from the three-point line. He got some easy shots early in the game. He got a floater here, and then he just got going from the three-point line. His ability to space the floor is going to be really key for the Warriors to be able to play Draymond and Jimmy Butler together. With his space, him and Steph Curry getting that screening roll and screening pop, rather, where Jimmy can operate in the middle. If the defender cannot leave Quinten Post, then it's going to create more space for Jimmy to do more damage in the middle.
And Quinten Post, his three-point shots are going to be wide open because they're going to be coming off screens on Steph Curry. They're going to double Steph. He's going to be wide open. He's got the ability to make the next play. I love when he short rolls, he can find corner three-point shooters. So he's not just a three-point shooter. And you mentioned Vucevic. He's outplayed him thoroughly these last 2 games. And with the acquisition of Jimmy Butler, I think he's much like Vucevic. He's younger, and I think he's actually a better three-point shooter than Vucevic.
Vucevic back on January 23rd, 9 points, 4 rebounds. Quinten Post off the bench with the 20 points and 5 rebounds. Tonight, Vucevic just 10 points and 4 rebounds. So he's out. The rook is outplayed a lot. What a lot of Warrior fans wanted Vucevic to be that stretch 5. The Warriors don't make that deal. He outplayed him 2 straight times.
Younger, better, and cheaper.
Absolutely. There you
3
go.
for 3.
There you go. There you go. Well, as we take a look at the T-stack comparison.
$120 million. You need cheap right now.
That's a great point, Fezzi. The Warriors shoot 50% from the
right
floor. He was not lying about that. We got to find something within the margins, huh? Whereas our reboundables, assist numbers plus 10 right there, plus 12 in points in the paint. The fast break, they got to work on that. They're a minus 19 there after getting outscored by the Lakers 35-6 when it came to fast break points. Turnovers 15. You take that as we move on to Steve Kerr out there in Chicago, presented by BMW.
Pretty fun having Jimmy on our team. Yeah. He's an amazing player. The ability to get fouled, it just settles the game for us at key times. But I'm most impressed with his passing. I just think his passing changes everything, connects the game. And he does it from anywhere. He'll dive down to the post, catch it down there, or he'll, pass off the dribble, or he'll just make the quick swing. So the skill, the strength, the ability to get to the free throw line, and then, in the end, goes beyond that. It's just his presence out there. He's a lion out there. He is a force.
You played Steph the whole, third. Yeah. How much is that because of, having Jimmy in your back pocket to start the fourth? It just kind of looked like that old school formula.
Well, it was more just because Steph was rolling. I mean, I don't love playing him 12 straight, but he was just on fire. Obviously, he just couldn't completely flip the game. There was no way I was going to take him out. The big change, I think, in the fourth quarter was keeping Draymond out there and putting Quinten with Draymond and Jimmy and BP and Buddy, and that lineup was able to carry on that third quarter momentum. Quinten was fantastic. He gives us that space 5 that opens up the floor, and it's watching Draymond and Jimmy together defensively is really, really something.
What did you make of the small ball units that featured Draymond at center and with Jimmy a part of those groups?
Well, we tried to go to it in the second quarter to try to flip things, and Chicago was making everything, and we didn't really make up much ground. But I do like the look of that lineup with Draymond at the 5 and Jimmy at the 4. I think it's going to be good for us, and we can switch everything and kind of play through those guys. But I thought tonight it was more Steph flipping the game, and then Jimmy kind of carrying forward that momentum and taking over the game once Steph went out, and it's fun watching it all unfold.
Steve, you kind of talked about all season.
All right, let's check out the up-to-date, up-to-the-minute Western Conference standings. And we're looking at the box here. Fezzi fell and Willie. The Clippers still holding on to that 7th spot. They're taking on Utah Jazz. That game just tipped off. It's early in the first quarter. Dallas beat Houston earlier today. The debut of Anthony Davis, although he's out with the lower body injury. We'll see if he plays this week for the Mavericks. Phoenix, 26-25, playing Denver right now. And then Sacramento, they're having a tough time with New Orleans. So the Warriors, at the moment, are back in the box. 3 games coming up, Fezzi. Milwaukee, Dallas, and Houston for the Texas 2-step. We're going to learn a lot about Jimmy Butler, the new-look Warriors.
Well, what I loved about the second half of this game, because it's going to take some adjustments. The first half, you can't really count that because Jimmy Butler just got into the system, is trying to get into it. What I love about the second half for the Warriors is the defensive intensity. You hold the Chicago Bulls to 25 points in the third quarter. Hold the Chicago Bulls to 17 points in the fourth quarter. It just seemed like everything turned around in the second half. It just seemed like, the Warriors were making their shots on one end. They were stopping the drives. All those drives that were hurting them in the first half, the 3-point shots, they were shooting 50s in the first half. The Chicago Bulls were. The Warriors turned it up. also were attacking. Obviously, it helps that Steph makes all those shots, but Jimmy Butler's influence, Draymond Green's aggressiveness. I love Pod's play tonight. Everybody on the team just seemed to be gelling, and for a first game, that's a pretty good debut for Jimmy Butler with the Warriors.
And an important win. They were down 24, and they didn't look like they were organized whatsoever. Second half happened. Steph Curry dominated that third quarter. But for the game, they shoot 50% from the field, 45 of 90, plus 11 field goal attempts. So they're taking care of the basketball. 40% from three, 19 made threes. And then maybe as important as all that, they get to the free throw line 27 times, Butler 13, but they shoot 85%. How many times have we sat here, talked about either not getting to the free throw line or not shooting a good percentage, or not having the balance of three-point shooting, points in the paint, points off turnover. They dominated all factors, and they did that really just in the third and fourth quarter.
Third and fourth
so
quarter.
something to build on. You don't have that second half. All of a sudden, you go into Milwaukee really starting from scratch. Got something to build on now.
Warriors outscored the Bulls 77 to 42 in the second half. 77-42. That's a hell of a turnaround, being down 24.
That's a tough tryout for the Bulls.
No doubt about that as we're flying above the rim, courtesy of OAK.
Who is it?
Jimmy Buckets.
Hey, first basket of the game for Jimmy Butler as a Warrior.
Nice little pass from Buddy Hield. Look at the action here, Bully. Buddy at the top. Kobe White's a nice player.
I did not know that Buddy throws lobs. That was nice.
This is set the back pick. Number 30.
Of course. That's what he does.
Gravity.
Does the dirty work.
Off the tip.
No doubt about that. Jimmy Butler, 25
Welcome to the
points.
Bay, Jimmy Butler.
No doubt about